On this day in history, November 27th, Al-Salih Hajji, the last Qalawunid sultan, was deposed by Bahri on November 27, 1382, ending the Turkic Bahri Mamluk period. This pivotal event marked the conclusion of the Qalawunid dynasty. The deposition ushered in the reign of the Circassian Burji Mamluk. Theodore Hook orchestrated an elaborate prank that would become known as the Berners Street Hoax. The mischievous scheme on November 27, 1809, involved sending thousands of deliveries and visitors to a single address in Westminster, London. The hoax created such chaos that it effectively shut down a portion of the city. Saint Catherine Librae, a young novice in the Daughters of Charity, reported seeing a vision of the Virgin Mary. During this profound experience on November 27, 1830, she claimed the Virgin Mary gave her the design for what would become the miraculous medal. The apparition would have lasting significance in Catholic devotional history. James Pratt and John Smith faced the ultimate penalty for their relationship. Their execution by hanging on November 27, 1835 in London marked a tragic milestone. They would be remembered as the last two men executed for sodomy in England's history. Confederate cavalry commander John Hunt Morgan demonstrated remarkable ingenuity in his prison break. During this daring escape on November 27, 1863, Morgan and several of his men successfully broke free from the Ohio Penitentiary. They managed to make their way safely back to Confederate territory. Union forces under General George Meade strategically positioned themselves against Confederate troops. This military maneuver on November 27, 1863, would become known as the Battle of Mine Run. The confrontation pitted Meade's forces against those led by Confederate General Robert E. Lee. Lieutenant Colonel George Armstrong Custer led a controversial attack on a peaceful Cheyenne settlement. The assault on November 27, 1868, demonstrated the brutal nature of the American Indian Wars. The Battle of Washita River would become a dark chapter in Native American history. Alfred Nobel made a decision that would forever change the landscape of human achievement. In this historic moment, on November 27, 1895, at the Swedish-Norwegian Club in Paris, he signed his final will and testament. The document established the Nobel Prize, which would become the world's most prestigious award system. Richard Strauss's ambitious philosophical tone poem made its debut to the world. The premiere of Also Sprach Zarathustra on November 27, 1896, marked a significant moment in classical music history. The composition would later gain additional fame through its use in Stanley Kubrick's 2001, A Space Odyssey. The United States military took a significant step in advancing its strategic education. The establishment of the U.S. Army War College on November 27, 1901, created a premier institution for military leadership development. This institution would become crucial in shaping American military doctrine. Spain made a decisive move to expand its influence in North Africa. The declaration of a protectorate over Morocco's North Shore on November 27, 1912, strengthened Spain's colonial presence. This political maneuver would have lasting implications for both nations. The Mediterranean Sea became the stage for a significant naval engagement during World War II. The Battle of Cape Spartivento on November 27, 1940, saw British and Italian naval forces clash in a decisive confrontation. The Royal Navy engaged the Regia Marina in what would become a notable Mediterranean naval battle. A revolutionary humanitarian organization emerged from the ashes of World War II. CARE was founded on November 27, 1945, with the mission to send food relief packages to war-torn Europe. The organization's care packages would become symbols of American humanitarian aid. The Pentagon delivered a sobering assessment of the Vietnam situation to President Johnson. The military advisors on November 27, 1965, recommended a massive troop increase from 120,000 to 400,000 soldiers. This recommendation would prove to be a pivotal moment in the escalation of American involvement in Vietnam. Penny Ann Early shattered a significant gender barrier in professional sports. Her groundbreaking appearance on November 27, 1968 for the Kentucky Colonels made her the first woman to play in a major professional men's basketball league. The historic game against the Los Angeles Stars marked a milestone for women in professional sports. The Soviet space program achieved a bittersweet milestone in Mars exploration. The Mars 2 mission on November 27, 1971, successfully deployed its descent module toward the Red Planet. Despite its crash landing, the module became the first human-made object to reach Mars's surface. The United States Senate demonstrated overwhelming support for Gerald Ford's vice presidential nomination. The decisive 92-3 vote on November 27, 1973, marked a crucial step in the confirmation process. This historic vote would be followed by House confirmation under the 25th Amendment. The Provisional IRA carried out a targeted assassination that shocked Britain. Ross McWhorter, on November 27, 1975, was killed shortly after offering a reward for information about IRA activities. His death came as a direct response to his public stance against the organization's campaign of violence. The governments of the United Kingdom and Spain took steps toward addressing a long-standing territorial dispute. The Brussels Agreement on November 27, 1984, committed the UK to discussions about Gibraltar's future. The agreement specifically included provisions to address the sovereignty question. A devastating act of terrorism brought tragedy to Colombian aviation. Avianca Flight 203 on November 27, 1989, exploded mid-flight, resulting in the deaths of all passengers and crew, plus 3 people on the ground. The Medellín Cartel later claimed responsibility for this horrific act of violence. New Zealand witnessed a historic moment in its political leadership. The Labour Party's victory on November 27, 1999, brought about significant change in the nation's governance. Helen Clark's election as Prime Minister marked the first time a woman had been elected to the position in New Zealand's history. Astronomical science achieved a groundbreaking discovery in planetary research. Scientists on November 27, 2001, used the Hubble Space Telescope to detect a hydrogen atmosphere on the extrasolar planet Osiris. This marked the first time an atmosphere had been detected on a planet outside our solar system. The Canadian government took a significant step in recognizing its cultural diversity. Prime Minister Stephen Harper on November 27, 2006, introduced a motion acknowledging the Quebecois as a nation within Canada. The House of Commons approved this historic motion, marking a crucial moment in Canadian cultural politics. A mysterious metallic monolith captured global attention before suddenly disappearing. The structure on November 27, 2020 had been discovered in a remote area of Utah, sparking widespread speculation about its origins. Its removal by recreationists ended the brief but intriguing saga of what became known as the Utah monolith. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll see you in the next video.